Alright guys, welcome to the Pre-algebra 1.7 video. We're talking about multiplying and dividing integers. Now, I mentioned this once before, but I'm going to show you again because it's super awesome. Okay. This is the tic-tac-toe, positive, negative tic-tac-toe little helper. Okay, and this is for both multiplying and dividing. Now, how does it help you? Well, if you have a negative number and you're multiplying or dividing it by a negative number, it's going to be a positive. If you have a negative number and you're multiplying or dividing by a negative number, the answer is going to be positive. If you have a negative number and you're multiplying or dividing by a positive, you're going to have a negative answer. So starting anywhere on the outside and jumping to the next one in line, such as going from here to here to here, is actually going to tell you the answer to your multiplication, or not the answer, but the sign of the answer to your multiplication or division problem. For example, negative 3 times negative 12. Well, what would that be? Well, you have a negative multiplied by a negative. And when I see a negative next to a negative, I know my answer is going to be positive. It's going to be what? Positive 36. How about negative 2 times 4? Well, negative times a positive gets you a negative. So it's going to be negative 8. And how about negative 428 times 0? Well, of course, neither positive nor negative. The answer is just 0. Alright, so let's talk about multiplying and dividing. So you have 50 shares of Popeyes stock and 35 shares of Samsung stock. So you have a diversified portfolio because you're investing in chicken and technology. Not probably a bad idea. So let's say today there's a recall on chicken from Popeyes, okay, because of the fear of salmonella or something like that, okay? So what do you think is going to happen to the value of Popeyes stock? Well, it's going to plummet, probably. Okay, nobody wants to invest in a company that's selling tainted chicken. But also Samsung just revealed that they revealed an awesome new phone that they're going to roll out soon. So what do you think happens to their stock? Well, it's probably going to increase, okay? So those are some inferences we can make, but let's say that Popeye's chicken, you had, let's see, you had 50 shares, okay, and let's say it dropped by $3 a share. Okay, so the value tanked $3 a share. Now Samsung, I'm going to do this in blue. Oh, that's black, so let's do blue. Samsung. The phone was revealed and their stock shot up at $250 per share. Okay, so what does this mean? Well, it means you're going to have a change in the value of your portfolio. Okay, so you're going to have a total change. And how are we going to figure out that change? Well, first of all, let's talk about Popeyes. Okay, so you had how many shares? Well, you had 50 shares, right? But it changed by how much? Well, it decreased by 3. Each share decreased by 3. So what does that mean? Well, it means I had the 50. I still have it. But I'm going to multiply that 50 by negative $3. Okay? That represents a decrease in every single share that I own. Okay? Now, when we're talking about change, we have one thing that's changing. We're going to add to it a different thing that's changing. So the other thing was the 35 shares of Samsung you had. So you had 35, and their value went up. So every share you had increased by $2.50. Right? So how can we find the actual total change here? Well, let's see. 50 times negative 3 would give you negative 150. Okay, so that's not good because the value of your entire stock portfolio has just dropped 150. But, okay, you had 35 shares of Popeyes that increased by 250 apiece. So 35 times 250, that ends up giving you 87.5. So if I want to know the total change, all I have to do here is add. So I have negative 150, and I'm going to add to that 87.5. Okay, so that would give you, and you can do this calculation on your own there in your paper, but you get negative 62.5. And we're talking about money, so I'm going to add the dollar sign and the extra zero there. But what does that mean? Well, it means your total change was negative. So you actually lost money today, all right? And how much did you lose? $62.50. So not a good day. Maybe time to pull out of the chicken industry and maybe more technology. I don't know. Maybe just go invest in KFC instead. Your choice. So we're talking about multiplying integers, but we're also talking about dividing integers. So real quick, if you had 40 divided by negative 8, what would your answer be? I hope you're answering negative 5. Why? Because you have a positive divided by negative, so the answer is going to be negative. What's 40 divided by 8? 5. All right, so let's say 10 pounds is added to a replica bridge that you built. Okay, so I'll draw, it's like the Pennybacker Bridge. I don't know how the rest of it looks like. Something like that, maybe, I don't really remember. Anyway, so there's a bridge. And you add 10 pounds to it, okay? A little weight right there, 10 pounds. And you're just going to let it sit for a minute. And then what you're going to do is you're going to begin to add 2 pounds per minute until the bridge breaks. So you're testing its strength, right? So what I want you to do first, is write an integer that represents the change in weight on the bridge in 1 minute. So what would that be? Well, you're adding every minute 2 pounds, right? So a minute's gone by, you're going to add a 2-pounder. So it's a positive 2, right? That's the integer that represents the change in weight. We're adding 2, positive 2. But let's see. What if I ask for the change in weight after 10 minutes? Well, the change is going to be how much does it increase. So we went from 10 pounds, we started at 10 pounds, but we're changing it, right? At 2 pounds per minute for 10 minutes. So that'd be like saying 2 times 10, which is 20. So 20 is the change, but how much total weight is on the bridge after 10 minutes? Well, you started with 10, you've added 20, so now you have 30 pounds total on the bridge. All right, there you go, guys. Another shorter video for you. Hope you liked it. Look forward to seeing you guys in class.